Hi there, students. To encamp, and I guess you have the noun, an encampment. Yeah, and you also actually have the verb to decamp as well. Okay, to encamp is to set up camp, to decide to stay in a place. Yeah, to so for example, the reporters were encamped outside my house. Let's see, to encamp. The soldiers encamped outside the castle walls. Okay, is to make an encampment. Yeah, to encamp. But very often we use this to settle somewhere for the long term. So our plane had been delayed for 12 hours and we found somewhere in the airport to encamp. There were protesters encamped in front of the Houses of Parliament. They were there for quite a long time. So this encamp, literally it means to settle in, to establish a camp. Yeah, we encamped beside the river for the night. Yeah, but let's see, for me, encamping or to encamp, it's got this longer term idea. You settle in. So we camped by the river and then we moved on the next day. Yeah, a camping site is somewhere to stay temporarily with your tents. But to encamp, I get the feeling that this is for a longer period of time. So yeah, the reporters encamped outside the courthouse until the person they wanted to interview came out. Yeah, so you're going to ask me the difference between camp and encamp. To camp, you're going on holiday. We camped here. We spent a couple of days, yeah, or we camped here and then when we moved on, we encamped in an encampment. This has more the idea of to settle in. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you're climbing Everest and you go to a certain point and you can't go anymore and you camp for the night. But the base camp, that's an encampment. It's a more permanent site. An encampment, a prehistoric fortified site. Yeah, particularly an Iron Age hill fort. So it's got the idea of setting up a camp, but it's more. Yeah, a Bedouin encampment. Yeah, it's got huts, it's got tents. Yes, it is temporary, but not for 1 or 2 days. It's maybe for 1 or 2 weeks or several days. And to encamp, it has the idea of the longer haul. Okay, so to encamp, to establish a camp, to form into a camp. So you're doing more things. During the harvest, the people picking the fruit were encamped next to the fields. Okay, yeah, they were bivouac. They were living in tents, but you could say camped as well. Notice I mentioned decamp earlier as well. To decamp means to leave. So to encamp, to arrive and stay in a place. To decamp, to pick up all your stuff and leave. Okay, so to encamp, to set a place for you to be for the more than the very short term, for the medium term perhaps. Okay, formality, to encamp. We encamped. I think I'm going to give it a 6 in formality. I think you could just about use it informally. Maybe better in something semi-formal. Yeah, a 6 in formality. Something semi-formal or formal. And as to origin, This comes from Proto-West Germanic camp, an open field, but that comes from Latin campus, an open field, a level plain, and this is where you would want to camp. From Proto-Indo-European kemp, to bend, crooked. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. To encamp, an encampment.